Have you ever stood in front of something so big, so overwhelming, so impossible, that just looking at it made your knees shake? Maybe it was a diagnosis you weren't expecting, a financial burden that kept growing, a broken relationship, or a fear that whispered, "You'll never overcome this." If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. That's exactly where God's people stood one morning in the Valley of Elah. For 40 days, a giant named Goliath walked onto the battlefield and challenged the armies of Israel. He stood over 9 feet tall. His armor alone weighed more than most grown men. Every single day he shouted the same terrifying challenge, "Send me a man to fight." And every single day, the bravest soldiers in Israel froze in fear. No one moved. No one answered. The giant seemed impossible to defeat. Then, everything changed. A young shepherd boy named David walked into the camp. He wasn't there looking for a battle. His father had simply sent him to bring bread and food to his older brothers who were serving in the army. But when David heard Goliath mocking the name of the living God, something stirred deep within him. It wasn't pride. It wasn't anger. It wasn't confidence in himself. It was faith. While everyone else saw an unbeatable giant, David saw an opportunity for God to reveal his power. When King Saul questioned him, David remembered how God had already been faithful. The Lord had helped him rescue sheep from both lions and bears. And David believed the same God who protected him then would protect him now. Then David spoke words that have echoed through history. "You come to me with a sword, with a spear, and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David never denied how big Goliath was. He simply remembered how much bigger his God was. Instead of putting on heavy armor, David chose what he already knew. He picked up 5 smooth stones from the stream, placed them in his shepherd's bag, took his sling, and walked toward the giant. Not because he trusted the stones, but because he trusted the God who had never failed him. Then David did something no one expected. While an entire army stood frozen in fear, he ran straight toward the giant. Can you imagine that moment? Thousands of soldiers watching, a massive warrior waiting, and one young shepherd running across the valley with nothing but a sling in his hand and complete confidence in his God. David wasn't running toward Goliath because he thought he was strong enough. He was running because he knew the battle belonged to the Lord. One stone, one swing, one perfectly guided shot. The stone struck Goliath in the forehead, and the giant who had terrified an entire nation fell face down into the dust. The battle that looked impossible was over in a single moment. So what does this mean for you today? Maybe your giant isn't standing 9 feet tall in a valley. Maybe your giant is a doctor's report, a mountain of debt, anxiety that won't let go, a broken marriage, a lost dream, or a fear that's been shouting at you for years, telling you that you'll never win. David's story teaches us 3 powerful lessons. First, don't measure your giant by your own strength. Measure it against God's. The battle was never about David's size. It was about whose name he carried into the fight. Second, use what's already in your hand. David didn't wait until he had a sword or better armor. He used the sling God had already placed in his hands and the stones he found along the way. God doesn't usually ask us to become someone else before he uses us. He asks us to faithfully use what he's already given us. Third, the giant falls first in your heart. Before Goliath ever fell to the ground, David had already settled in his heart that God was greater than anything standing in front of him. Faith changed the battle before the stone ever left the sling. So whatever giant you're facing this week, remember this. You were never meant to fight it alone, and you were never meant to fight it in your own strength. The same God who stood with David in the Valley of Elah stands with you today. Nothing is impossible for him. If this message encouraged you today, let us know in the comments. What giant are you trusting God to help you overcome? We would love to pray with you. If you haven't already, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Grow in Faith Daily Hub, and share this message with someone who needs encouragement today. Until we meet again, may the Lord fill your heart with David's courage, strengthen your faith for every battle ahead, and remind you that no giant is greater than your God. God bless you.